Have you ever met a close talker?
He's nice, bit of a close talker.
A what?
You'll see.
This is Erin.
Hello, Aaron.
Hello, Aaron. So how long are you folks in town?
3 more days, and then we're off to Paris.
We're going with the select charter group.
I love France. I was just there last year. In fact, you know, I still have an envelope full of French francs.
Or maybe someone that overshares. Like you meet them and within 5 minutes they're trauma dumping their entire life onto you. Or maybe even someone that smells like shit and nobody tells them. And let's be honest, it's too awkward for you to tell them either.
What, do you smell something?
Do I smell something? What am I, hard of smelling? Of course I smell something.
What is it?
I think it's BO.
As much as I'm going to promote confidence and self-esteem in this channel, I think a more important skill to have, especially for your social life, is self-awareness. And today we're going to talk about one of my favorite ways to visualize and conceptualize self-awareness. This concept is called the window of personality. Basically, it breaks down your personality into 4 different spots. Number 1 is your open spot. This is what you put out and what you know about yourself and what others know about you as well. So if you're a loud laugher, or if you are a funny person, you're knowledgeable, you're empathetic, people know these characteristics about you and you know it about yourself and you're actively putting it out and everything's fine. Another quadrant is your blind spot. This is the close talker, the oversharer, the over apologizer, someone that says like sorry 20 times every time you talk to them. The one-upper, no matter what you say, they try to like say that they're better somehow. The chronic complainer, like anything that they talk about, they're constantly complaining about it. And just like the person that smells like shit or whatever and they have no idea. Or they talk too much and nobody tells them. This is your blind spot. This is something that others know about you and you're not aware to it whatsoever. The next quadrant is hidden. This is something that you hide from others. This is roles that you play and things that you hide that you don't want other people to know or see. So for example, let's say you struggle with imposter syndrome or your fears, you're deeply afraid of rejection, your insecurities, things that you are hyper aware to and other people don't know about you. Or maybe you dislike one of your friends and you hang out with them out of obligation. These are your hidden spots. The last quadrant is called your unaware section. This is something that you don't know about yourself and other people don't know either. This is, for example, your hidden talents. Maybe you try archery and you're really good at archery out of nowhere. Or maybe you don't realize what childhood experiences shaped you and what traumas you have, what fears you have. Maybe you self-sabotage and you don't know about it yourself. Or maybe you're bad at public speaking or really good at public speaking. It's just basically information about your own talents and your own weaknesses that neither you know about it, nor the people around you. Now, the point of all this is that the more open you are, the healthier you are. The less roles you have to play and the less secrets you have, the less energy you spend to try to hide who you are. You can visualize it as an inefficiency problem. You spend too much energy trying to hide who you actually are, or maybe it's a safety issue. You're in an environment where you feel judged a little too much, or you're in a relationship where you can't really be yourself. So you don't feel safe enough to be fully yourself. And as we know, humans have a fundamental need to be heard and understood. And when you're not fully vulnerable and yourself, you're not receiving that need in a full way. Therefore, the bigger your open section is, the healthier you are. And the more likable you are as well. Because as we know, if you're trying to put out a front and you're trying to look perfect, everybody knows nobody's perfect. So you're gonna come across as like you're full of shit. And people can tell. They always tell. Therefore, in my opinion, your goal should be to shrink every other section of your windows except your open. You want to make your open as big as possible and every other quadrant as small as possible. Now, the way that you shrink your blind spots is promoting and asking and really wanting honest feedback. The way that I do this is I sit my friends down once a quarter, once every 6 months, or every time I do a little podcast with them, and I tell them, please tell me what's wrong with me. What do you not like about me? Why? I actually want to know this. People at work, same thing. I am dying to hear feedback, whether it's I talk too much or I talk too little, or whether it's that my breath stinks in the morning. Just please tell me. If you are my friend, I see it as a responsibility, and we're going to talk about this in a later video. As a close friend, it's your responsibility to tell your friends when they're full of shit, or when they're doing something stupid, or anything in between. So to close your blind spot as much as possible, you have to really promote feedback and really accept it and not take offense. The people that would actually give you honest feedback, they're doing it because they care about you. So realize that and try to take it as constructively as possible. The way that you get to make your hidden part as small as possible is by being more vulnerable. We've talked about why authenticity and vulnerability are really important, especially in your social life, and creating authentic long-term friendships. But it also goes with safety and environment and trust and closeness. If you are in an environment or in a friendship or a relationship where you feel like the more vulnerable you are, the more you take shit from them or the more hurt you become, that's a toxic friendship or relationship or environment. And you should consider either being honest with these people and telling them that you can't be yourself, you don't feel like being yourself around them, or simply leaving the environment. If you think there's no way that this person is going to accept who you are, then you probably shouldn't be around that person. And that's hard for some people to hear, but it's true. So try to change your environment if it's a toxic environment. Try to be more vulnerable. Use I statements, which we will talk about in a later video with self-disclosure. Saying things like, I feel overwhelmed, not you made me overwhelmed. Try to express yourself as what you feel and what you observe and what you are experiencing versus what someone else is making you experience or feel. And also journaling and reflection. It's another part that you can try to bring out your hidden parts and shrink it as much as possible. Next is your unaware section. And you want to shrink your unaware part as much as possible. And this, again, goes with journaling and self-reflection, but also experiencing new things. You're not going to know. Maybe you're really good at darts. If you never tried darts, you're not going to know. Maybe your hand-eye coordination is world class. You're never going to know if you don't try it out. If you don't try public speaking, you're not going to know if you're good at it. If you don't try traveling, you're not going to know you like it. Try new experiences. This also goes with finding new friends. Things that you think you're going to enjoy, whether it's jiu-jitsu or pickleball. Give it a try. Just try it out. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you don't. No loss if you don't. Another thing you can do is go to therapy. You can analyze the way that you think in therapy. You can figure out how the ways that you're limiting yourself, your self-limiting beliefs, all these things go to shrink your unknown quadrant as much as possible. In general, being more mindful about the way that you're thinking and the mistakes that you're making would go a long way of shrinking your unknown parts and potentially discovering talents that you might have. Now, I say all of this and I promote being open and self-disclosure, but there's a big difference between trauma dumping on people and completely telling everyone everything about yourself and telling no one nothing about yourself. There's a healthy medium of self-disclosure and being open with people that it's not like you announcing your life problems to everyone versus not saying anything to anyone. You have to find the healthy medium. The people that actually care about you, the people that actually know you, The more you are open and vulnerable towards them, the deeper your relationship's going to become. Now, if they're toxic, it's probably not a good idea to be more open towards them. Or maybe opening up and being honest with them will change the toxicity a little bit as well. It just depends on the person and the situation, of course. Now, it shouldn't be 0 or 100. There's a huge difference between telling everything to everyone and not saying anything to anyone. But if you don't have anyone that you can be completely vulnerable around and be completely yourself without worrying about them judging you, then you're gonna feel really alone. Because once again, unless you're a sociopath and you don't care, all other humans on Earth have this innate need to be heard and noticed. You are a social creature. The worst thing they can do to you in prison is put you in solitary confinement. Imagine that. You're surrounded by murderers and psychopaths, and the worst thing they can do to you in that environment is to leave you alone by yourself. That's how much of a social creature you are. That's how much you need to be noticed, and that's a fundamental need that you have. So if you're not being completely open with at least one person in your life, that's probably why you feel alone. And that's what I'm promoting here, is to be as open as you can with the people that you actually care about knowing you. Whether it's your best friend, your family, your partner, same thing. All right, I hope that helps. And next we're going to talk about self-disclosure, which goes along with this video. And I think you're going to really learn something valuable from that as well. Thanks for watching.